My name is Mr. Andrew Himari, Daily College. We want to look at a topic, trigonometrical ratio. This is Ss2 class, mathematics. Trigonometrical ratios are relationship which help us to use numerical number to represent sine of angles, cos of angles, and tangent of angles. Sometimes we can use secant, cosecant, and cotangent. Here we are coining it down to a right angle triangle because we are looking at angle less than 90. You can look at this triangle now. We have here angle 30. Here you have what? Angle 60. Now it is important that for every angle we have in this right angle triangle, you have to locate the opposite side and the adjacent side. Now if you look at this triangle, for angle 60, I use arrow to point the opposite. You can see the opposite stand as square root 3. But when we look at angle 30, you look at the angle, the ones going down, the opposite that is facing it, you can see the angle 30 is attracting what? 1. Of course, the other side that is sliding, the longest side which is sliding, is called hypotenuse. Now, please listen. For a right angle triangle, the three sides, one must be hypotenuse side, one must be opposite side, and one must be adjacent side. The hypotenuse side is constant. You can't change it. It's the one that is sliding. But the opposite and the adjacent, they are not constant. They can change depending on the position of the angle you are looking at. For instance, as I'm looking at angle 60 degrees, I find that the opposite of angle 60 degrees is what? Square root 3. Immediately, the other side that is not known will be what? Adjacent. In other words, for angle 60, this is the opposite, which is square root 3. Adjacent with what? 1. While the hypotenuse remains constant, which is what? 2. But if I'm looking at angle 30, I look down, that is the opposite. I'll have what? 1 as my opposite. Immediately, the other side, which is square root 3, become the adjacent. Of course, the hypotenuse does not change. It still remains 2. We look at the other triangle, figure 1.1. This right angle triangle have 45 inside. So, whichever the side you are looking at it, it remains the same. Whether you are here, is angle 45 you have. You come here angle 45, unlike the other one, which is this. Here we have angle 60, here angle 30. But now, we have 45. But for this case, we find out that the opposite of this 45 remain 1. Whether you are using this one also check it, the opposite still remain 1. Of course, the hypotenuse does not change, which is what? Square root 2. Please remember that when you are looking at angle 45, here must be written as square root 2. The other two sides will carry 1. But if you are looking at angle 30, here must be written as the hypotenuse as 2. The other two sides will carry 1 and what? Square root 3. So we want to write out the sin theta, the cos theta, and the tan theta. These are the actually ratio we are talking about. Ratio simply means you are using one side to divide the other side. That's why it's a ratio. That's why we call it ratio. One side is dividing the other side. Of course, the law says that sin theta, when you are dealing with sin theta, you should use hypotenuse to divide what? Opposite. If you are talking about cos theta, you must use hypotenuse to divide what? Adjacent. We are talking about tan theta, you must use adjacent to divide what? Opposite. So please take note of it. You need this rule because sometimes calculator will fail you. Or the JAMB or the WAEC examination, some of them will tell you don't enter with calculator. That's why you need this help. So when you don't have calculator, this will help you in the hub. Please, I want to give me your full attention. Now we want to write out. Let's look at figure 1.0, which is this one. Let's write out the sin theta, the cos theta, the tan theta for angle 60. We also do it to angle 30. Then before we do the other one, if time allow us, then we can proceed. If not, we continue from there next time. Let's look at it quickly, please. So I'm redrawing figure 1.0, which is this diagram. I want to consider angle 60 first. Of course, so that this diagram angle 60 is here. That's why I'm bringing it here. So I decided to leave 30 first. Later I'll bring 30. You can see 30 is here, 60 is here, but I want to bring 60 first, which is this. Because this is your angle 90, which is this. So I have to leave 30 first so that it can be clear to you. Of course, you know that here is square root 3. I bring it back to this place, square root 3. Here is 2, I still put it there. Here is 1, I still put it there. The only thing I abandon that is not here is angle 30 is because I want to be clear. Let's deal with angle 60 first. So now I want to look at sin theta. If you look at the rule of sin theta, what sin theta say, please? Let's look at it. He said it should be what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. So now we'll not come. I've told you already, 60. This is angle 60. Check who is facing it. Which side is facing it? If I is square root 3, that's the opposite. Please take note of the opposite now. Immediately this one become opposite, immediately the other side must be adjacent. This one that comes down, that is slanty, that is long and slanty, cannot be changed. The name is called hypotenuse. You cannot change it. Please take note of that. So now we now find out for using angle 60 now, the opposite is square root 3. The adjacent is what? 1, while the hypotenuse is what? 2. Because I've told you the hypotenuse does not change. It's the one that is long and slanty. So now from what we are doing, sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Who's our opposite? Square root 3. How is it? Square root 3. Over. Who's our hypotenuse? 2. Put it. We have gotten that. We also look at cos theta. Okay, which means what we are saying, and who is your. Okay, sorry. Now, let's look at something. Remember, I still wrote theta. Who is our theta? Who is the angle? Because remember, theta represents the angle that is given to you. Who is the angle given to us? 60. So I can use 60 to represent it theta. Now, so I cannot write sin. So of that theta, I will not write what? 60. Equal to the answer. What is the answer? Square root 3 over 2. With me, in any examination, if you are given sin 60, don't waste your time. Just put the number square root 3 over 2. That is the essence of this topic. So now you don't have a calculator to know the meaning of sin 60. This triangle will give you. So now just represent your sin 60 with what? Square root 3 over 2. Let's look at cos 60. We check cos 60. We don't waste time. What's the rule saying? It says for cos, we use adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. So now, please, students, can we look at it together? Remember I told you that the one facing it, which is this one, is the opposite. This one must be one what? Adjacent, because this one that is slanting does not change. It's hypotenuse. So now, from what the rule is saying, adjacent over hypotenuse. Who's your adjacent? Of course, it's what? 1. 1 over hypotenuse. Who's your hypotenuse? This long one, which is what? 2. Which means in examination, if you are giving cos 60 and you don't have a calculator, simply put what? 1 over 2. The last one is tan 60. For tan 60, of course, you can see what the rule is saying. Opposite over what? Adjacent. Now, who's our opposite? Of course, you can see that the opposite is what? Root 3. And the adjacent is 1. So that is our answer. 60. Now, I would have given you to do 30 by yourself. Can you do your 30? Deal with the sine of 30, sine of 60, and cos of 60, tangent of 60, tangent of 30. You can do that by yourself. So, but let me just help you. Let's look at sin 30. Of course, we need to redraw the diagram now because we are finished with 60. Let's go and check angle 30. We are through with angle 60. Let's check angle 30 by redrawing the diagram now. I want to redraw the diagram. can see now that in this case, I brought in the 30. I didn't touch 60 again because we are through with 60. So this is the 30, you can see it there. Now the root 3, which is there, I bring it, root 3. The root 3. Then the root 1, which is this, I also bring it in. Then we'll have the 2 that is there, which is this. But please, their position in terms of opposite adjacent hypotenuse will surely change. Why? Because the angle has changed its position. So when the 60 was here at this position, that we can call here opposite. Opposite means something that is facing something. So now the opposite of this 30 now, of course, we can find is down. This is the one facing it. So of course, here will become opposite now. Because it's the one looking at it. Look at it. Of course, hypotenuse does not change. Here still remain hypotenuse. It doesn't change. I've told you people that the slanty side remain hypotenuse. Of course, immediately you recognize the opposite, the other side will be what? Adjacent. So here become adjacent immediately. Remember for this question we did, here was the opposite because it facing it. Immediately here is opposite, here must become what? Adjacent. Of course, hypotenuse does not change, remain hypotenuse. The same thing there. So now we want to look at also the sin theta, which is sin 30 of this diagram. Remember, sine says opposite over hypotenuse. Now we know sin 30 now is equal to, what's your opposite? Of course, 1. What's your hypotenuse? Of course, 2. With the examination condition, if you are given sin 30 and you don't have calculator with you, just simply put 1 over 2. Again, let's look at cos 30. For cos 30, of course, the rule says adjacent over hypotenuse. So cos 30 now will now become, what is the adjacent? Of course, here is the opposite. Automatically here become adjacent. Would be root 3 all over 2. Because hypotenuse is 2. The last one is tan 30. Looking at the trigonometric rule, tan 30 say opposite over adjacent. So tan 30 now is equal, what's the opposite? Of course, 1. And the adjacent is what? No, 3. So that is the answer for this problem. So I will give you assignment of angle 45. Of course, I already have the sketch in figure 1.1. So submit it, getting the sin 45, cos 45, and what? Tan 45. Let me write it out so you can see very clearly. It's a classwork for you. Do it and send it. So your assignments or classwork. Find the value number 1 of A sin 45, B cos 45, C tan 45, in the diagram below. Number 2. Evaluate without using table or calculator. The equation P is equal to sin 30 degree plus cos 60 degrees all over tan 60. Okay. God bless you. So you can send your answers to this WhatsApp number. You can send your answers to this WhatsApp number. For any further question, you can call the number Mr. Andrew. Is some of your questions on time? Okay, you can call this number. Good. You can call this number. You can call this number 08141360167. That's Mr. Andrew. Please send your questions sometime. I'm expecting your questions. God bless you.